Hey everyone, welcome to a video tutorial on the MagnetTrade software, our new strategy. Lee Goldstein here for 10-Minute Trades. Just remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. It is possible to lose money trading futures, so don't trade money you cannot afford to lose. Most of us, when we use NinjaTrader for the first time, we have room on the chart. So what we're going to do is create a new chart. We have room on the screen, I should say. We're going to create a new chart, go to New, go to Chart. We're going to choose the instrument. Let's use the ES 1224. All these items on the right that come up are going to be default, but just check them. The value should be a 1 and the type should be a minute. 5 days of data to load, and trading hour template, use instrument settings. Okay that, and then you might have to find your chart if you have a multi-monitor setup. And now we have an ES chart along with all the other charts that we had. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is put the indicators on the chart that you need. Magnets. What is a magnet? That's the key. What I'm going to do is move my webcam so it's out of the way a little bit. There we go, that's a lot better. A couple of things we want to take care of, housekeeping. Our prices are too close to the margin. So first off, let's turn on the chart trader, which is this icon up top. Chart trader, turn it on. Now, we're still too close to the margin, so right click, click on properties, and then we are going to increase the right side margin to 65. And obviously you can make your own choice. You just want it off the margin so that the price is clear. There's nothing creating confusion. Now we have to talk for a moment. What's a magnet? Magnets are price levels on a chart that many traders all watch. We all tend to watch many of the same price levels, and predictable behavior occurs at those levels. So we're going to put some of those levels on our charts. Now, the ones that we use are some of the most popular ones, but you can use your own as well because our software supports a custom price level system as well as a high of day, low of day magnet system. So two trading systems in one. Any price on the chart can be a magnet. So you could use Fibonacci's, Ichimoku Cloud, whatever indicators you love can be part of your custom system for the magnet trade. But also what's built in is the high of day system. That's a built-in system. So we need to put those magnets on the chart. Again, magnets are price levels where we can expect predictable behavior because so many people watch these same levels. Right click the chart, click on indicators. The first indicator we're going to put on the chart. Current day OHL, double click it. You'll notice it's the open, the high, and the low. Just apply it and okay it. We don't have to do anything to it. If you scrunch your chart a little bit, you'll see the green dotted line is the high of the day, the red is the low of the day, and the gold is the previous open. Second set of magnets we're going to put on are pivots. Right click the chart, click indicators. These are all free indicators that are part of NinjaTrader. Go to pivots, double click. They show up under configured. And now you notice on the right here you have your pivots. The only thing I like to do is change the PP color. So I click it, make the color black. I don't want it interfering with our gold, okay? And sometimes you can make them, obviously you could change any of the colors to the way that you like. You might think, you know, if you click a pivot, it shows you all the pivots, just like if you click the high and lows, it shows you the high, low, and the open, the 6 p.m. open. Anyway, these are now all of our pivots on the chart, all of our magnets on the chart, except for one very important one. We're going to add one more. Now, it's called the VWAP. If you do not have a lifetime platform subscription to NinjaTrader, the VWAP is not free, but we do have a free indicator available for you all you have to do is email us at help@10minutetrades.com and we have a free VWAP. For those of us that are lifetimers, you click on indicators, go down to order flow VWAP, double click it, and then on the right, standard deviation bands, we're just going to go to none. That creates, apply that, and okay, it creates a line for the VWAP, which is what we want. We want the VWAP to act like a price on the chart. The VWAP is if you click it and then right click it, you can make the line thicker if you want to. With that top plot, I make the line a 2 and apply it and okay it. See how it's a little bit thicker? It's just easier to see. That's the VWAP, a very important magnet for us. I also like to keep my eye on the trend when we're trading magnets. So there's another free indicator. If you right click the chart, click on indicators, scroll down to net change display, double click it. This indicator shows us the pricing from the previous close, okay? Previous close. And what we're going to do is make sure that it's highlighted. I like to make the unit points if it's the ES, NQ, ES, NQ, ticks if it's the YM, bonds, but it varies. If something's super volatile, then you'll have to use judgment. For instance, gold, 10 ticks to $1. So a point is 10 ticks on gold. But don't get hung up in the minutia. For now, we're just going to put, if it's an ES chart, you use points. If it's a YM chart or a gold chart, you could use ticks or points. Like I said, don't get all riled up about the technical minutia. What's going to happen with this indicator though, one more thing on this indicator, net change display, you have to tell it where to show you the value this indicator returns for us. Bottom right is the best. It's out of the way of everything. Apply it, okay it, and now you're going to see there's going to be a number on the bottom right. We're on the ES chart. That's showing us that the ES is up. It's green, so it's bullish. 5 points from the previous 6 p.m. Okay? So that's important to remember. It's important. It gives us the trend. So right now the markets, they're not exploding up. They're not down, but they're certainly not as high as they were after this morning's jobs report. Okay? So these are the tools that are going to help us with the magnet. We also have our free clock that if you're a member of our trade room, you can download the clock. It's one of the files that's in our room disk drive in our trade room. We use the clock to help us to trade. It's important, obviously, to be in sync with the markets and to know what time it is, obviously, when you're trading. All right, so the clock is something that we always have on the charts when we're trading live. Okay, today, because I'm teaching, we don't have to have the clock at the moment. So now that you have your chart set up, because this is all that I'm going to do at the moment, very simple charts, nothing fancy, and our charts don't look all lit up like holiday lights, no confusion. Very simple, clean charts. So I'm going to save this as part of a workspace. If you've been trading, you'll have a few workspaces created. The current workspace is the green one, but let's save a brand new workspace. So I'm just going to click Save As, Magnet. And I love dating everything because then I know what's current. So now, if I go back to workspace, I'm in the new magnet workspace. So every time I exit NinjaTrader by clicking on the X here, if I say save the workspace, of course it will. And bingo, when you load back your NinjaTrader, everything will be as it was right as you left it. Okay, so now we know what a magnet is, right? A magnet is this green dotted line, the high of the day. The PP is a central pivot. That's a magnet. The red line, the low of the day, is a very strong magnet. The gold 6 p.m. pricing, to me, it's not as big of a magnet. It could be, but it's not one of the magnets I generally trade on a regular basis. The VWAP, definitely. The PP is an important level. It's like the central pivot. And the low of day, high of day, very important as magnets. So our magnet software has built in a variety of different setups. But first, you have to install the software. So let me show you how to install the software. We have an installation sheet. Okay, if you become a Magnet member, we'll send you this sheet. You just click on the link, allow it, okay, and it will show you this file. Everybody gets so confused. Don't worry about all these files in the middle. This is a Google Drive file. You just click this down arrow, and after a few seconds, you'll get a message up here, download complete. And that's the name of the file. See how it's Magnet Trade NT8? So just remember that. You need to know where that file went to on your computer, where it's located. Now, if you have an old Magnet Trade version installed, you want to uninstall it. For us, we're going to assume no one has the Magnet Trade installed. We're going to go to Tools. We're going to go to Import. Should you have a previous version, you would go to Remove NinjaScript Assembly, click on that, and it will show you an option for a Magnet Trade will be in here. You would remove it. Then reboot your NinjaTrader. For us newbies, we don't have the magnet installed. We're going to go to Tools, Import, NinjaScript Add-on, and then if you're lucky, it shows you exactly where the Magnet Trade that we just downloaded. So all I do is double click on that file, okay the message about viruses. We have not sent you a virus, okay it, and then we will get a notice that everything was installed properly. If you ever get a message where it's trying to tell you that you have a newer file on the computer, always keep the newer file if it's on the computer. Let the file install if it says the newer file is the file being installed. Now, as a matter of just getting all the files in their order correctly, I like to reboot my NinjaTrader platform after I've installed a strategy or an indicator. So that's all I'm going to do. All right, so NinjaTrader is back. And now if you right-click the chart, and we are on ES1224, and you click on Strategies, you'll see the strategies that you have installed in your NinjaTrader. So we have our third strategy is the Magnet Trade. Double-click it, okay? And just for now, after you double-click it, you'll notice Magnet Trade enabled. We have, if you hover over these inputs, it describes them, okay? And that's very helpful to know. If you notice, Magnet Trade at the top says HODLOD. That's our high of day, low of day system. If you click the right arrow here, you can turn it off, or you could choose custom level. That's our custom level magnet system. As I said previously, the custom level lets you decide what price will be a magnet. Very, very powerful. Particularly, I mean, there are indicators that really work great. EMAs people love. Fibs, very powerful indicators and price levels. We felt that to make this an incredibly valuable strategy, if you could use your own levels, that would make this a game-changing strategy. It's funny though, I love the high of day, low of day the most. It's the easiest magnet system also. Now, interestingly, I was noticing on the right here, we just had a magnet trade to the previous price time at 6 p.m. Notice price went up, 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 and it tested that magnet. That's what a magnet is. That's what a magnet does. Now look, don't forget, magnets don't do this all the time. No trade is 100%, but magnets in particular are great around news. They're great around market opens. In this particular case, we don't have an upward trend at the moment, but gold tested the VWAP. This line here is the VWAP, and it went through it. I wouldn't say it failed. It actually went through it. Then it changed direction, and it did work as a magnet to one of our selected areas on the price. Also, the PP is a potential custom magnet as well. So you had two potential winning trades that could have taken place if you use the custom system. But for now, what I was showing you is the high of day system. When you click on, let's start over, just right click, click on strategies, double click it, bring on the magnet, double click, and we're on the high of day, low of day system by default. The proximity is 20% away from the magnet, and that's high or low. How many positions do you want to trade? Obviously, what color is your custom level line? That's self-explanatory. Automatically in the high of day, low of day system, your first target is 3 ticks before your magnet. 3 ticks before your magnet, okay? So if your magnet is the high of day, if that's your actual high of day, your target is 3 ticks before it gets there, and that's automatic built in. You can change it if you want it to be 10 ticks away. Okay, you can make it 10. You can make it whatever you want, okay? But the default is -3. I love -3, all right? Because it will test the magnet just before it gets there. And if the price decides to change its mind, you'll have a winning trade. You can have a second position so that if it bursts through the magnet, keeps going, 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 you want to have that option. And then, of course, we have our stop. You might want to take a trade only in one direction, long or short. The magnet makes sound. Okay, so that is the sound is on. You can use all sorts of different sounds. That's when you get to the level. So if you're not paying attention, you could have a magnet chart that you're not really watching carefully, and it'll make a sound when the trade is ready to be triggered. Okay. And then we also support some of our major features in our regular software. Target one stop move. If you hit your first target in a trade, target one stop move will move your stop. Let's say you type in 2. It'll move your stop to break even +2. All right, and then it's an automatic stop move. Target 2 stop move is not used in the magnet because right now it's only a 2-position trade. You can do trailing stops. We have a trailing stop method. Our best method, in my opinion, if you trail, you can just turn it on. Okay, and I use tick for tick, and you use the number of trailing ticks. So for each tick that you go profit, it'll move 1 tick in your favor. The stop will move 1 tick. If you had it on 2, for each profitable tick, the stop will move 2 ticks in your favor. You don't want to make that a very large number, because if your stop winds up on the wrong side of the market, that will generate an error and screw up the trade. So don't understand what it means to have a value of 1 on your trailing ticks. Now, I do not use our other trailing stop method, so I'm just going to teach the method I'm currently using. The break-even delay, you can delay a trade if you're timing the trade In this particular case, that's not really useful for magnets. You can move your stop. This is an interesting feature. If the market moves X ticks, for instance, instead of using trailing stops, or instead of using the stop move, target one stop move, there's another way that we can move our stops. If the market, let's say you're trading a magnet, it's a very wide range, and you tell the program and you're trading two positions, and your first target is 10 ticks, and your next target maybe is 50 ticks, so you have a wide range. If you're expecting a big move, but you're not sure if you're going to hit your second target, and you want to grab some of that profit, you can use this feature. If the market moves X ticks, and you could also use this if you're trading just one contract. Let's say you're trading just one contract and your target is 50. This is really the main purpose we invented this feature for. So let's think of it, we're trading one contract and we have a big target. And let's say our target's 50 ticks. If the market moves 30 ticks, we can move our stop to break even plus 20, capture some of that profit. Now, this usually isn't that common on magnet trades, but it's there, so that's what it's used for. Most often, we won't be using hardly any of these extra features. 8 times out of 10, we'll just be using a position size, how many contracts, what the target is, and a stop. Mode strategy internal is default. I would leave the ATM strategy exactly as is. You don't have to write your own ATM strategy. Our software is that ATM. Everything else here is default. You can also start a magnet trade at a certain time. Let's say you wanted to start trading after 11 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, you can do that. Some of these are just minutia, if you know what I mean, not necessary for the bulk of the trades you're going to take, not to be worried about. Setup is important though. What account you're trading on is important. If you're simming, of course you want it on sim. If you're on a live account, it'll show up there. Trade it on your live account. The other thing that I feel is very important is label all your trades. So if you have a gold magnet trade, GC magnet trade, when you apply it and OK it, up in the control panel, right, you'll have your strategy name and it'll show you gold, GC magnet. Because you might have another strategy trade, you might have an ES trade on an ES chart. You could trade two magnets, two different charts. Now, see why we have a two-position magnet? This magnet did go through. Now, you might have been stopped on the way down there, but nevertheless, if you had a reasonably sized stop, you could have had a second target get hit. So let's review very quickly. 9 times out of 10, when you put on a magnet trade, if you want to remove a strategy up here, just right-click it and remove. 9 times out of 10, right-click the chart, click strategy. Double-click magnet trade. Okay, it's going to default to high of day, low of day. You'd leave everything as is, except choose your account. Okay, that's important. Default is sim. Position size, it defaults to a 1-position trade with our automatic target 3 ticks before the price, before the magnet, and a 20-tick stop. I'm going to leave it on our default. Apply it and OK it. Now, if we had an ES trade, we have 2 potential magnets. We have a magnet for the high of day and the low of day, because this was our high of day, low of day system, right? What I personally like to do, and I'll tell you, first let's see what happens. When you enable the trade, this thick line are the price entries. Keep in mind that the magnet is where you exit the trade. The magnet is where you exit the trade, okay? We now have entry and a potential target. 3 ticks away from the high, 3 ticks away from the low. You can leave them both on, that's fine. Or you could trade just short by turning off the long. Or you could trade just long by turning off the short. All right. You could hover over this magnet button and you can see your buys and sells and targets. But you almost don't even ever need that anymore. You can move your buy. Okay, just by clicking and holding, letting go, and click. Same thing, short, click and hold. That's where my trade is going to enter. That's where it's going to trigger. If the trade is enabled and you really believe the market's going in your favor and you want to enter the magnet right away, click the Enter Now button. Bingo. The trade will trigger. Okay? The trade will trigger. Now, I would not press the Enter Now button. Okay? Unless you have a direction chosen. All right? So I don't want to press it when both of them are pressed, okay? So be smart. It's logical, all right? So I entered now and I'm in the trade. Now I wouldn't have gone long here, so but whatever. All right? I'm going to close it. Now, one thing, when you set up a brand new chart, there are some properties you might want to set on your chart trader. Right-click your chart trader, properties, profit and loss display unit. I like it in currency, so I see when I'm trading how much I've made. Not everybody likes to do that, but I like currency. And also show P&L when flat. So when the trade is over, it shows me a collection of my profits or losses on my previous trades. Okay? Now you can set that to 0. If you highlight your account, you can set it to 0 in Sim. Highlight the account tab. Left click the account you want to reset. And then right click it. Click Edit Account. Click Reset. Make sure Clear History is checked. Yes. And OK it. And now it's back to 0. It will clear your strategy. So you might have to re-enter your strategy. So that's fine. Let's re-enter our magnet. Right click, click on strategies, double click the magnet. Now, the defaults are the high of day, low of day system, 20 proximity, 1 position, 3 ticks away from the magnet, long or short. 20 tick stop, apply it and OK it. When you apply the magnet, nothing happens except it's ready to trade. It's not going to put you in a trade. It's not going to do anything. You can move your entries as we showed, right? By just moving the lines. You can turn off long or short as we showed. You can enter now. Also, the magnet has an automation. If you want the trade to take place automatically, just press the magnet entry button and leave, and it will stay purple. When it stays purple, it means the trade is automatic. Should we get to the short entry, it will trade a short magnet. It'll go for a test of the low. That's our goal. And our order, our target, is going to be 3 ticks away from the low. Same is true on the upside. If it's not automatic, when we get to the price, the magnet will blink. Let's see if we can get there. If the price goes up a little, the magnet will blink purple. Unfortunately, the price is dropping. So let's give it a second. But it will blink. When it blinks purple, okay, you have the opportunity right there to click the button and it puts you in the trade. Okay, So it'll blink and you'll also hear the sound. All right, so that's another way to enter the magnet trade. Also, so that's semi-automatic. If you want an automatic magnet, press the magnet entry button, and when it gets to the area of entry, it will trigger automatically. If you uncheck and recheck, everything recalculates. Okay, so it's very, very easy to trade the magnet trade. You don't have a lot to worry about. You don't even always have to pay attention to long and short. All you have to do is keep an eye on your price, look at trend. Right now the ES is trending up, so it also is bouncing off these areas here, okay? It didn't pull into the PP. It looks like it's heading back up from a bullish jobs report. We missed the custom trade right here. We could have traded the VWAP trade, right? We have a custom, but we were trading the high of day, low of day. That's fine. So I just want to go over, make sure everybody understands the high of day, low of day, and I'll show you some actual trades. So right click, strategies, double click magnet, high of day, low of day is all set. What I like is a 10% proximity. Everything else I leave, except I might up my number of positions. Maybe I'll trade 3 positions. Maybe I'll trade micros, right? MES. They're only 50 cents a contract to trade in terms of risk. Okay. So I've got the MES. And why is it so important to label your trades? See, now we're a little bit confused. Which is the exact strategy we're working on? So click the strategy button and make sure you label each individual strategy at the label button. So this is going to be MES. Apply it and OK it. When you apply, it'll put the change in. So we're not trading the full size ES, but we know which is the MES. So to turn it on, click enabled, and now we have our 10%. So if the price gets to 10% to 5802.50, we're going to enter this trade. And then it's just a regular trade. The idea is to get, I like usually about 10 to 13 ticks in a target when I'm dealing with something like gold or natural gas or oil. Instruments that are, say, $10 a tick or 10 ticks to a point. I love to go for like 10 or 13 ticks as my magnet target. With ES, MES, those are instruments that have more ticks per point. So for instance, the MES has 4 ticks per point. So I might want to go for 16 ticks on my target. I just might want a little bit bigger profitability. That's all. Give a magnet plenty of room. Don't be stingy on your stop. And try to use highs and lows, recent highs and lows, important pivots as your areas of stop. Don't just say, well, give me a 12 tick stop because that's all I can deal with. I'm afraid to lose more. Try to use areas. For instance, if you had a long magnet here, right? Make believe there's a level here. That's our magnet. You'd want your stop below here, okay? Because it's been testing this area over and over and over. You wouldn't want your stop somewhere in this area here because you're not giving your trade as good of a chance to survive as you would be if your stop was below the most recent lows. So especially on magnets, use a little bit of technical analysis, which I know is a little bit of a stretch for some of us JOBB news traders, but technical analysis is okay. Now, you have a magnet trade, getting ready to take place on gold, right? Don't we? Let's get rid of these trades here. Close, right? Right click, cancel all orders. Not a bad thing to do when you have a lot of charts open. Right click, cancel all orders. And I'm going to get rid of everything for the moment. Right click, remove. And we've got a gold magnet. Maybe it's gonna test the high of the day. Right click, strategies, double click magnet, put it on 10%. Okay, put it on 10%. Let's put one contract. It's all we need. The target's preset. Don't have to do anything else. Just check the chart you're trading, the account. We're on Sim. That's fine. Call it GC. Apply it. Okay it. We're ready to go. Enable the magnet. Look at that. We'd be trading it. I can enter, right? I could have entered. Make sure you're on the right Sim account, Sim 101. There it goes. It's going, as they say in England. Now I can actually move my stop to safety here because it's a nice distance away, right? As it goes up, now look, it may pull back. I don't want it to pull back. I don't want to get taken out of this. I think it may very well test this magnet. Now look, this is the webinar, folks. I don't know what's going to happen. It's a possible. It's already gone up quite a bit also. So let's do this. I didn't want to take up a lot of time. Take a little profit. Okay, we made some money on a possible magnet test, but that's the idea. We set it up real quick. All I did was right click the chart, double click magnet, and the magnet shows up. High of day, low of day. Percent proximity, I moved it to 10. No positions changed. 1 and a 3 tick fill before the magnet, 3 ticks before the magnet. Okay it. When you apply it, you don't get pulled into the trade. It's discretionary. If you want it to be automatic, the reason it's blinking is because it's past our entry. That was our magnet entry. So if you were doing it right now, you wouldn't trade it. We already traded it. We've missed our entry. But that's how fast it is to put that magnet trade on. You saw me. We had a trade that would work. Okay? That's how you trade the magnet. All right, so a couple of features reminder now. I'm going to remove the magnet. Right click the chart. Double click the magnet trade. I'm going to enable it on our MES chart here. When I trade micros, I like to add a bunch of extra positions. I love trading the magnet. One position, multiple contracts. That's my personal favorite way to trade it. I like trades to be over quickly, so I like when it tests the magnet and the trade ends. I'm going to label my trade, MES, make sure I'm on Sim, apply it, and OK it. Enable the magnet. That gives us our control. Okay, so as a reminder, the most important thing, it's a discretionary entry if you don't press the magnet entry button once and turn it purple. If you turn it purple, it's an automated entry and it will enter at your thick lines. Those are our entries. Remember, the magnet is where you expect to exit. It's not where you're putting on the trade. The magnet is where you exit the trade. And our lines, which we can move, are the entries. Very easy. You can turn off automatic. Just press the button once. Turn off the color. You can hover and see your targets in your cells. Okay. Very, very easy. You can put on an extra position. Uncheck a trade if it's enabled, if you need to edit the settings of the trade. Click on strategies and my magnet MES is there. If I want to add an extra target, another position, make position size 2 the number of contracts you want it to be. And then you should also give it a target. Maybe you want it to go 12 ticks above the magnet. Okay, so that's how you do that. You can also choose whether the trade is long or short from inside the software. Whenever you make a change, always apply it and OK it. Enable the trade so that it's viable, so it's ready to trade. That's our high of day, low of day. Now, we also have the custom system magnet. And before I go, I'll show you a couple of trades so you could see some real magnet trades. All right. Custom levels, very, very important. I love the VWAP. So if I get up in the morning, I grab a coffee, like I always do, and I'm looking around on the charts. I'm looking for magnets. I'm magnet hopping, right? I'm searching. Maybe oil. We know oil's been going crazy because of what's going on in the world. Oil's over 74 bucks. Oil's probably getting ready to do another high of day, right? It's very possible. So that's a possible magnet trade coming up. That might be coming up soon. But now that's the high of day magnet. What if you wanted to trade the VWAP magnet? Looks like there was a great trade today. So I can test it, and it's important if you want to be able to practice magnets, you have to know how to test a trade. So let's do a quick NinjaTrader playback. So we're on CL 1124. That's our contract. Go to Tools, Historical Data. We're going to download that data. All right. Market Replay. Click it. Get Market Replay data. Today's date is 10/4. And we're going to choose today's contract oil, CL 1124, and download it. Bingo. It downloaded. You can close this chart out. Now, disconnect your live connection. And we're going to connect our playback connection. Continue. And now we get our control panel for playback. Our chart needs to be on oil, okay? And we're going to put today's date in both boxes, 10:04. And let's put the time at 10:30. Click right mouse in that blank area. Wait till you can type in go to. And I didn't look at the time, so let's put 11 o'clock. Let's put 10 o'clock in, 10 a.m. Now there is a little goofy bug in Ninja where sometimes when you press play, it will default to 12 midnight. Just put the time back in. I don't know why it does it. I've talked to tech support 1,000 years. It sometimes does it. It's a pain. So what we're looking for is a custom level on crude today, and there's a bunch of them. There was one at 940. It made a short into the VWAP, right? So if we wanted to, we could use that. That's how you would trade a custom level. So let's put our time on. What you want to do is turn off your crosshair and make it local, right? And we can put our magnet on at 936. And we're going to see the price is going to go down and test our custom level. So let's put in 935 here for our magnet time. And let's see if we can do this the right way. Let's see if it works. So we're using NinjaTrader playback. Okay. So now my time is on 9:35. Press play. And you can watch the price action. Okay. But let's set up our trade. You can speed up the price action by increasing the arrows here. So we want to trade the VWAP is our magnet. Okay, that's our exit. That's our exit. So our custom level is probably about, remember what I said, $10 a tick is what oil gives us. So what's 27 minus 10? It would be 17. Sorry, 37 because we're going short. So let's put an order in. 74. We'll make our level 74.37. Very easy. So our custom level 74 first. Don't forget, right click. Let's start from scratch. Let's create our magnet trade custom level. All right. Let's start from scratch. So we put our oil chart on and we're ready to go. We downloaded, but now we right click the chart, click on strategy, double click magnet, not high of day system now, we're custom level. All right. And what was our custom level? 10 ticks above the 74.27. So custom level 74.37. That's our custom level. Watch what happens. Our default target is 10 ticks, one position, stop of 20, long and short. We don't have to do anything, just leave it the way it is. Just give it a name. So if you start messing around with other setups, you'll know. CL Magnet Trade. Apply it, okay it. I turn on our magnet setup, I enable it, and our fill, if price goes there, would be 74.37. So let's put the price action, let's turn the trade on, the market's on, by pressing play. Turn the trade on so it's automated by clicking the button once. Now, if price goes down to our 37 area, it's going to fill us, and we're looking for a test of the VWAP, right? That's our custom level trade. So let's speed it up. We don't have to spend the whole morning doing this. We saw that it's going to work, so it should work, but that's how you put on a custom level. Bingo. Hit our target, trade over. That's how you use a custom level. Everything else I mentioned in the previous setup was the same. Long and shorts. You can add a second position, right? So we could do that over. Let's put a second position. Position size, position 2 size is one contract. Okay, and we need a target. Let's make it 18 ticks. Nothing else changes except we're adding a position for those traders that want to trade if you're lucky enough to go through the magnet. So let's put our time back. So we're going to go back. It's 9:40:58. Let's go to 9:30. Let's see if we can get to 9:38. See if that's okay. All you have to do is count back on your candles to get the minute if you're on a minute chart. So 9:35 should be fine. We could enable our trade, press play, get ready, turn on the magnet, right? Let me backtrack because I didn't. Let's get our custom level with 2 positions so we can enable the trade, turn on the magnet so it's automatic. And now when price gets down to this level here, instead of being a 1 position trade, it put 2 in, and now we're waiting for price to go down. Things are happening quickly because we're on 6 times the speed, okay? But price should go down because that's what we saw it do. We should be testing the VWAP. There's the test, hits the first target. Bingo, it hits the second target. It's very easy to add a second target to a magnet trade, just like you would any other trade. So remember, custom level. I'm going to take off the magnet and remove it. So let's say you love the ES, right? Now, I didn't download the ES data, so we have to stay with CL. So let's go to a different time of day. Let's go to 8 o'clock using the NinjaTrader playback. We're going to go to 8 in the morning. It's a good way to practice different magnet setups just by changing your time on a day where you've downloaded a lot of data. So let's go to 8 o'clock with oil this morning. And it looks like, we don't know what direction price is going to go. Maybe it's going to test the high. Maybe it's going to test the VWAP. But maybe we have an indicator that tells us that, for instance, 74.64 is a super important level. That's a super important level. So you could make that your custom level. So that would be the area you want to get filled, right? So make your entry, your actual custom level would be 74.80. So watch, I'm going to leave that level. All right, that's our important level. That's where we think price is going to go, but that's where we think it's going to go. So that's where our exit is. So my entry, which is the custom level equals entry, maybe I like 74.80 because I've done some research. I've done some analysis. I put on my custom level system. What did we say? 74.80? Yep. One position, we've got a target, it's automatic, we have an automatic stop of 20. You don't have to do anything except make sure you choose your account so you don't trade live when you're not ready. And if you're doing playback, you have to make sure you're on the playback account. And I always recommend just name the trade you're working on. It just saves time if you add different setups. Apply it and okay it. So now, you press play. I'm going to slow down the market to normal speed. Press play. You're watching price. I enable. Now remember, I can turn my magnet on if it gets to my custom level. Maybe I want it a tiny bit closer, okay? If it gets to my custom level, right there, which I thought was an important level, I want to go short. Nothing's going to happen if I'm not on automatic. If I'm not on automatic, when it gets to the level, it'll blink purple and I can press the button to get in. If it's already purple, I've put the trade in automatic and it will enter me when it gets to the level. That's how you do custom level. And you can move those levels all over, okay? If you're looking short, don't move it above your price. Don't make the software do what it can't do. So custom level, very easy, very powerful to use. Okay, so let's go over a custom level trade once more. You're trading the ES and it made new lows and you're thinking, hey, there's a good chance the ES is going to turn around. It's in between 9:30 and 10 in the morning. We'll talk about good times to trade magnets, and the VWAP is right above us and it's been testing it. I think it's a possibility the VWAP is a magnet and it's going to pull the price into it. Let's put an order on at 57.40. So I right click the chart. I've got my magnet loaded, right? Ready to go. My custom level 57.40.00 because it's the ES. It could be 57.40.25, right? 57.40, and I've got a couple of targets. One position for 15 ticks, position 2, one position for 30 ticks, and I have my stop of 20. So the key is I'm looking at an area. ES Magnet Trade is my label. The account is on playback. Apply it and okay it. When I enable the trade, what should happen is the price area that I think I want to enter is 57.40. The magnet is the red VWAP. That's my magnet, okay? So my custom level is 57.40. No big deal. I just use, it's real easy if you put the cursor, right click the chart, crosshair, put it on local, and that way you get up and down, side to side, all your coordinates. Turn on the trade, enable it, right? Now the market's moving, and let's make it an automatic trade. If the market goes up, I'm going to get filled at 57.40-ish, all right? For a test of the VWAP, that's my trade. It's a busy time of day. I'm reading the paper, I'm drinking some coffee, and I'm watching. If I don't want any pressure at all, no worry, click the purple button, turn it off automatic. I don't need it on automatic. But if I want it to trade no matter what, click the button, put it on automatic, and let's see what happens. I'm going to speed the market up a little bit and replay. Okay, just so we don't have to sit here all morning. And watch. The market's going to start moving. It's doing what we thought. It's going up. You know, maybe there was positive news that morning. And my second target is counting on the fact that the price is going to go to the VWAP and further. So right now we're on normal speed market. If it goes, it's going to fill my order 3 ticks right before the VWAP, roughly. It's not automatically 3 on custom. I could now move my stop to safety manually if I want to. I can also move my stop to safety. Remember the target 1 stop move feature in the software? If I had my target 1 stop move set to break even, my stop would have automatically moved to break even when target 1 was hit. Anyway, I moved it manually. It's not so fast of a market that you didn't have time. And now if price keeps going up, I have an opportunity to get my second target. I can trail manually as the price moves, and it's a bullish day. Also, watch, it may pull back, but it doesn't matter. We hit our first target. Every trade isn't going to work. Every trade isn't going to hit all your targets. In this case, we got like a target and a half because we trailed, we went above our entry. The key is, I love that first target. I love getting it. You know, if our stop was a little bigger, we'd still be in the trade. So you want to make your stop, place your stop in an intelligent place. The stop probably shouldn't have been in the middle of that candle. It should have been below that candle. And you'd still be in the trade and would have had a much better opportunity for more profit. So that's the custom level. Now, let's talk about one very important thing before we finish up. Okay, so I put my live charts back on. Now, just as a matter of education, if sometimes you put your chart on, hey there, and your pricing is missing data, you could right-click the chart. You can always try reload all historical data, and most of the time that will fix your chart and your data. So I wanted to close out. I hope everybody understands how to trade the magnet trade, custom and automatic. So it can be high of day, low of day system, custom level system, discretionary entry or automatic entry. And then what's very important is when are good times to trade magnets. When we originally designed the magnet trade, we did not plan to trade around news or at the news exactly. We actually planned to trade around the news, not exactly at the news though. We have software that trades exactly at the news. So our goal was more opportunities after and before the news. So we discovered, of course, that trading the news could be an awesome time to trade magnets. It wasn't our original intention, but look at a corn oil futures trade that we took. The high of the day is up above us. News comes out at 12 noon, and watch this trade. It's spectacular. And this was a live trade we took in our trade room. We actually traded the breakout. That would have worked as a single direction, looking for a high of day trade as a magnet. So trading the news can actually be used to reduce risk. If you're the trader who doesn't like trading breakouts, you could trade a single direction magnet, put it on automatic, turn it on a couple of seconds before the news is released. And if there's a whipsaw, you only get filled in the direction you're looking to get filled. So it could save you from a bad behavior trade. It could save you from a whipsaw. It could make for a winning trade in one direction. So it is a way to reduce risk when you're trading news. There are lots of slow moving news trades also that move in the direction of a high or low, or some of the custom levels that you might choose. So just to recap, some great times to trade magnets. Market opens, when the markets are starting to move, when the markets are starting to pay attention or starting to develop their trends. Good time to trade. So market opens, market news, Fed announcements, anything that moves the market in a more volatile way than normal is an excellent time to start looking at magnets. After the market closes, sometimes there's a burst to a magnet right as the market closes, a couple of seconds after. Very possible. Use your creativity to find those times that the magnets are very tradable. You're going to find that there are times you never dreamed that a magnet can be traded. Certain areas that I love the high of day, low of day, and I love VWAP magnet trades because the VWAP is very often in the middle of the high and low, and it gives you that extra trade. So I hope this video was helpful. It should cover a bulk of the features for trading our new magnet strategy. And I wish everybody the best. And I hope you're enjoying your time with 10 Minute Trades. Lee Goldstein, and I'll see you soon in the trade room. Take care, everyone.